What's good, everybody? This is Ryan Johnson with MoneyBass.com. Guys, you have seen the title of tonight's live stream and you have seen that thumbnail. So we're going to get straight into it. But what I need you to do is as you come into the live stream, just drop a 1 in the chat for me. Want to make sure you can hear me okay and see me okay. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight into it. And also want to make sure you guys, anybody that is new, tuning in, this is a very live and interactive show, so I will definitely be interacting with the chat. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, make sure you drop that in the chat. I'll see if I can pull it up. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, make sure you put that in there, because there will be people, you never know who's watching, that may be in the chat to be able to answer any of the questions that you have with this new thing that we call the Humminbird Xplore and the Humminbird Mega Live 2. All right, so make sure you guys get active in the chat. And also want to do a quick, I see you guys coming into the chat. I see you hit me with the 1. Let me know everything looks good and sounds good. One more thing I need to do is give a big shout out to the Facebook crew. I want to make sure these guys over here are part of the show also. So just bear with me, guys. All right, just bear with me. Here we go. Got the Facebook crew. All right, there we go. Big shout out to the Facebook crew. You guys should be live and in action, so you can hop in and be a part of this live stream also. All right, so now what are we going to be talking about, guys? If you are here, if you saw the title of tonight's live stream, you know about the new release that has just come out for the Humminbird Xplore units and the Humminbird Mega Live 2. There's a lot of goods, bads, the in-betweens. There's a lot of talk going out here. Want to give a big shout out to DL Peck Fishing. What's going on? Shout out to the money team. Really appreciate you for tuning in. And also, DL Peck, drop a yes or a no in the chat. I can bring you up here because I do want to shout out DL Peck Fishing. He has been doing a lot of coverage on this because he is also a Humminbird guy. So in the chat, DL Peck, do you want me to bring you up in just a few minutes, let you kind of voice your thoughts and opinions on it? And just a quick rundown. I mentioned that I do get very active. We'll be live in the chat, so I'll be in and out of the chat, seeing what you guys are talking about. I will also drop a few polls. Those polls are meant to gauge the room, to let you guys know who is watching. Are you running Lowrance, Humminbird? Are you running Garmin? If you are running Humminbird, do you have Mega Live 1? Are you thinking about getting the Mega Live 2 and the Xplore? Are you going to upgrade? How do you feel about having 4 Helix units like I do on my system, and now finding out that the Xplore is not compatible with that? So it is not going to be able to interface with that one boat network if your one boat network only has Helix units on it. All right. So we're going to get into all of that, guys. Let's see. So one of the things that I want to do first is get straight into just a few snippets from the new release, from the video that they just put out, guys. Like I said, we're going to kind of get things moving and get straight into it. If you are on the Facebook side of things, feel free to hop into the chat also. All right. I see the comments coming in, guys. We go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in to the live, because that way you get a lot more, it's a better feel to it whenever you are part of the live. One other thing before I pull up these video clips, I will be back again live on the water, guys, on not tomorrow. Tomorrow the weather's looking kind of bad for me. So we have not been doing this thing that I call Bass for Cash, where I go out fishing and I show you guys my my units, my Mega Live system. I actually show you the fish that I'm targeting. I catch those fish, bring the fish to the boat. All you have to do is guess the weight of the fish that I bring onto the boat. And there are sponsors that actually pay you out cash prizes, guys. You get some cash straight into your pocket. And all your partner MoneyBass has to do is get a fish to the boat for you. All right, so yeah, make sure you guys tune into that. So today is Tuesday, so I will be out there again on Wednesday. Tomorrow, like I said, is going to be not too nice of a day, so I won't be out there tomorrow. All right, let's see. Just bear with me. What I'm going to do now is just share my screen, and we're going to take a look at a few snippets that I think are kind of pertinent. If I can find it, where did I put it at? All right, hold on just a second, guys. Let me get this queued back up real quick. All right, let's see. All right, so as you guys know, they did recently release the video where they kind of went into details about it on the Humminbird website. So that is the video that I'm going to be pulling up. I know some of you have seen it. Some of you may have not seen it yet, but there's some specific parts in there that I wanted you guys to be able to take a look at. All right, let's see. All right, and then remember, this is a live show, so your partner's in here doing some live tweaks while we're getting everything set up. All right, so here we go. Got that. All right, so now let me cue this up. Just bear with me again, guys. All right, let's see. And like I said, continue to get active in the chat. And there we go. So I have this queued up. Let me pause it right here for you. All right. So what I'll do first, let me bring that up. All right, here we go, guys. All right, like I said, this is a live show, so just bear with me, bear with me. All right, so I have that part up, but one other thing I did want to do before I play this is get our first poll question going. So the first poll, since you guys see this, is about the new Mega Live and the updates, the updated units that are coming out as far as the Xplore and the Mega Live 2. I want to know for this first poll, are you running the original Mega Live? So let's just call that Mega Live 1. How about that? Are you running Mega Live 1 currently? And this is, we're going to keep these quick and simple. So this will be a yes or a no. And again, this is to gauge the room, guys. So you'll know as you're interacting with each other in the chat to let you know, are people out here using the same equipment? So as you guys have questions about, is it compatible with this? If I have 3 Solix units and I want to upgrade one to an Xplore, should I do that? What, all of those kind of questions, make sure you continue to put those in the chat, because like I said, you never know who is going to be watching the show, and there may be somebody in here that can help you out immediately with those questions. All right, so are you currently running Mega Live, the first version, on your boat? So that poll question is up and running. Make sure you guys get active with those polls, because it does make a difference. The live streams always build off of the polls and the interactions from the chat. All right, so now the video that I wanted to show you guys, I have it queued up. So with the new systems that are coming out, there are 2 key components that kind of caught my attention with that. And here we go. So this is what I was telling you guys as far as the, let me just change the view real quick. All right, there we go. All right, so there were a few key components that they were discussing in the video that was just put out. So let me just go ahead and play that real quick so you guys can see. And what I would say is these are maybe 2 of the main things for me that were of areas of interest, but I would advise everybody to go and watch this full video. It's located right there on the Humminbird website, guys. All right, hold on one second. Hold on one second. I queued up the wrong one. How did I do that? All right, hold on a second, guys. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. That's where it was. Moved it to the wrong location. All right, so let me just move it back just a quick second. All right, here we go, guys. Now I have it queued up for you. I was wondering why the setup wasn't looking right. Here we go.
When it comes to fishing, I have a ton of patience.
And I don't think you guys listened to it at that speed. So let's adjust that again. All right, here we go.
It comes to electronics, sometimes not so much. When it gets overly complicated or I get lost in these menus, it can be pretty frustrating. Not anymore. The new Xplore units have made everything super fast and very easy. It all starts on the home screen. So you can see this is a little bit different, but it has everything you need, nothing that you don't. We have our tools, our views, and our favorites. So right here, I've created some of my personal favorites. This is a screen that I use quite frequently. I'm going to show you something. Lightning fast. Everything's fast and easy. I really like this feature. So if I hit menu, I want to make some adjustments. All the information that's pertinent to the pane or the screen that I'm on. Nothing else. I don't have to dig deep to find what I'm looking for here.
All right, so yeah, I wanted you guys to take a look at that part right there. So for me, I've always ran Helix systems. I have not used units that have the touchscreen. So for guys that have touchscreens, some of this stuff may already be familiar for you guys, but for the Helix guys, I mean, this is definitely an upgrade as far as coming out with the that touchscreens section and being able to customize the screens that you want. Now, like I mentioned before, having a Helix unit, if you were to get an Xplore unit, it will pretty much be a standalone unit because it will not network with those Helix units. So for me, that's kind of one of the downsides to it. But like I said, right now we're taking a look at a few of the things that I think are some pluses. And this is another one right here. Let's go ahead and listen to this part, guys.
Is if I'm like a lot of you, I have chips everywhere for different regions of the country. Not the case with the Xplore unit.
Check this out. So I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to go to mapping. Each Xplore unit comes with Lake Master and Coast Master. So no matter where you're fishing, you're completely covered.
And this is HD. This is 1 foot mapping here.
1 foot contours. It's amazing. Notice my waypoints here. I want to show you something else. Waypoint management has gotten way easier. So check this out. This is a really cool feature. We're out. I'm scouting. I want to send you something to check out. So I'm just going to draw a circle around my waypoints. Now I can export these to my phone and I can send them to you.
Fast
Right now.
So taking
All right. So now the reason why I wanted to show you guys that is if you have been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I've always talked about my waypoint management. Now, for me, I have a bag full of individual SD cards that is basically for each lake that I fish. I have an SD card specifically for that lake and specifically with those waypoints on there. But sometimes I may fish a lake and I have the waypoints on there, but I may forget to export those and, upload them into Humminbird PC where I save them. And then I have backup units, backup SD cards, because I do not want to lose those waypoints. Now, what you saw him do as far as circling those waypoints, and now you can choose all of those and export those waypoints to your SD cards. The other way of doing that on a Helix unit is to pretty much transfer those from that unit onto an SD card. From that SD card, upload those into Humminbird PC. Now you have to, let's say you have 1,500 waypoints in there from 5 different lakes. You have to go through and based on either the date that they were stored or the longitude, latitude coordinates, you have to have some type of system that works for you in order to separate all of those waypoints, because you don't necessarily want to leave all of those waypoints on your unit, because anything that can kind of slow down that processor speed, you don't want to do that, especially on the Helix units, guys. So what you just saw him do as far as circling those waypoints, you could zoom out on that mapping and say you have your lakes that you can see. A lake is in a little further north, one's down south, but all of those waypoints will be kind of clustered together where you could just circle all of those and just export those. So it makes, to me, I can see how that is a very valuable aspect of being able to use that for your waypoint management. So just wanted to put that out there. But I'm going to hop into the chat in just a minute. And also, DL Peck Fishing, are you still in the chat? Because I want to give a big shout out to DL Peck Fishing. He has been putting out some very informative information about these upgrades, because like I mentioned earlier, he is running Mega Live also. So I'd be interested in hearing from you if you are planning to upgrade from Mega Live 1 to Mega Live 2. Now, for me, you guys have heard me say in the past, like, man, trying to keep up with all this stuff is it's getting kind of rough. So we'll have to see. As far as right now, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I did tell you guys that I will have some exclusive information, some exclusive content for you. That will be coming up probably next week, because I will be out on the boat live with someone that is very in tune and in touch with some information about Mega Live and just Humminbird in general. So I will have some on the water footage of that Mega Live 2 that you guys will be able to kind of compare. So what I'll do for you guys is I will go out there, I will track different baits as we're catching fish, things like that. So if you have anything specific that you guys are wanting to know, make sure you drop that in the comment section also, so I can get back and answer those questions. All right, so what I'm going to do is hop into the chat. I see DL Peck has not replied back. Well, maybe he did. Let me see. Maybe I missed it. Oh, okay. He says, yes. Okay. Shout out to D.L. Peck. He says, yes, I can. He said, yes, I can, but I'm in a Texas Bass Nation meeting. I will let you know once I can come on. All right. Shouts out to D.L. Peck Fishing. Really appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to hop into the chat real quick because I do like to keep these very live and interactive. So I'm going to check that poll in just a second. So if you just come in, there is a live poll. I want to know who is running the current Mega Live 1 system. What percentage of you guys are running that? All right, so let's see. Who do we have? All right. So look, shout out to the burning season. I got to keep an eye on the burning season. I have to see what he says first. All right, the burning season says upgrading electronics every 2 years to compete is getting ridiculous. Honestly, it's killing the sport. It's beyond nuts. So yeah, I mean, and that's something that, of course, we are all hearing. We're all feeling that, but it seems to be across the, across the spectrum as far as electronics go. But even outside of fishing, I mean, how many times do you get a TV and then they come out with something a few steps above, or you get I don't know, an I was about to say iPod, a tablet, or something like that. Especially cell phones. So they're always going to be upping to the next thing. And sometimes you guys see with the cell phones, there's barely any noticeable changes to those. So I can definitely see as far as the processor speed, the features that come along with this, it's a definite upgrade from a Helix to the Xplore. But I think for somebody that already has a touchscreen, I have not used units with touchscreen, so I don't know if a lot of these features are already available on touchscreens. All right, so let's see who else we have in here. So I'm going to go through real quick and see if anybody has any specific questions or anything, or thoughts about how their current system is set up and if they're going to be upgrading. So I'm just kind of looking for information like that, things that I can read out to see if they'll, give some people some ideas on of what kind of responses you guys want to talk about. All right, so I see a few things in here in the chat. So listen, guys, when you see me laughing a little bit, I'm already looking into the messages. I'm not going to read all of them, but I try to at least get through the members of the channel. Those are the people that I refer to as the money team. All right, so want to give a big shout out to the members of the channel. You guys are always getting active in here. All right. Shout out to Daniel. Once again, the money team. Make sure you guys do hit that like button. Let's take a look. How are the likes looking? If I don't mention it, then I know you guys won't think about me, but the likes really do help out the channel, guys. All right. So let's see. And for anybody that is new, this channel is growing very, very fast. We're coming up on 14,000 subscribers. Just a few weeks ago, about a month or so ago, we were probably around 10,000. 11,000 or something like that. So the channel has been growing. We've been out doing live on the water fishing, where I'm showing you guys these electronics, showing you different baits, bait tracking, all of that kind of stuff, guys. So we really make it entertaining and provide value to you guys is the goal that I try to reach every time I go out on the lake. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. I'm just going through here real quick, just trying to pull up something. All right, so Hog Catcher, he says, bottom line, they come out with new units to make y'all spend more money. Hog Catcher says, I do not need those units. I hit the bank with that wacky rig and knock them in the mouthpiece. So yeah, so some guys, they're just here to see how we're all complaining about spending our money because they're not using the electronics. All right, so let's see. Cartez says, let me see, you have 4 Helix units, 2 12 G4N, and 2 10 G3N units. Let me see. We'll be getting one new unit next year. Okay, so what you're saying is that you have Helix units right now, but you are going to upgrade and get one new unit next year. Are you planning on getting the Xplore unit? And you're kind of in the same boat that the same boat and predicament that I am. I have 4 Helix units, but if you do upgrade to that one Xplore, from what I've seen and what they've explained is that Xplore unit is not going to network with those other 3 units. So if you're saving waypoints or anything like that, that Xplore unit is not going to network with those Helix units. Now, if anybody knows anything different about that, make sure you put that in the chat, because I definitely want to make sure that people are getting the information that they need to make the decision that they need for themselves. Because yeah, I mean, there's a lot of funds being invested into these things, guys. All right, so Greg says, I have 2 depth finders. What kind of depth finders do you have? All right, Joe Winkler says, sharing lake info is illegal in most tournaments. And that is kind of true. I think many of the upper level tournaments, people You know, they have specific rules about that, but there's a lot of smaller tournaments where they don't really enforce things like that. All right, let's see. Hold on just a second, guys. Did we just have something happen? Did we just have Clint Perry come in with a $10 super chat? Oh my goodness. Really appreciate that, Clint. What does Clint say? He says it's the feet pictures. We're here for, oh my goodness, Clint. They don't know about that. They don't know about my night job. We can't talk about the feet pics during my regular live stream. We have to save that for the on the water live streams. All right, shout out to Clint Perry. All right, so what I say each week, guys, is whoever gives the largest super chat, super sticker during the live stream is the sponsor of the live stream. And let me just hop in here real quick and change this banner for Clint Perry, the current live stream sponsor. And I'll tell you guys what that is all about in just a second. All right, so here we go. So now if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, you will see there is a banner scrolling down there. Whoever gives the largest super chat, super sticker, support for the channel. We have guys that actually gift memberships at times too to you guys. So that really helps out the people that are here viewing the channel. So big shout out to Clint Perry. Special thank you so much to Clint Perry. He is the sponsor of the live stream. That's what you guys will see down there on that banner. All right, so let's hop back in here real quick. I'm just going through the chat for anybody that is just tuning in. I keep these shows very live and interactive. So I want to go through here, see what kind of questions or comments you guys have. How do you feel about these updates? Are you running Helix? Are you running Solix? Or are you already running those Apex units? If you are, then you may be in a little different situation than I would say most. I would think that the most popular units are going to be the Helix units at the time because they're the most economical. Let's put it that way. They're the most economical units that are out there right now as far as the lineup from Humminbird. But we're seeing that they are being phased out, guys. So that is the word out here on these YouTube streets. All right, let's see. Let's hop back in here real quick, guys. Just trying to get caught up in the chat. And then once we do that, I'll go ahead and take a look at that poll. And let's see. There was one other thing that I'm going to show you guys. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, so yeah, back to Joe Winkley. He says sharing lake info is illegal in most tournaments. And so the thing that us tournament guys sometimes don't think about, not saying you, Joe, but the tournament industry is kind of small. I mean, I've been watching some videos online where they're saltwater fishing, they're fishing from the bank, they're doing all kinds of things out there. And those views on those channels are very, very high. And sometimes I forget about how many people do not even care about the tournament side of things. So they'll share waypoints with their friends, you know, and things like that, like it's nothing. So as far as him being able to circle those waypoints and share those waypoints, I can see how that is something that a lot of people will like. All right, let's see. Fishing for Dollar says, I need another 12 for the Camus, so I guess I will be getting the Xplore after the first of the year. So yeah, so that's what I'm really interested in for the people that are running Helix units, and you're thinking about upgrading to that Xplore unit. Are you still going to keep those Helix units even though they will not be able to communicate with each other? From what I have seen and the way that it has been explained to me is that the Helix units are not going to communicate with the Xplore unit. Now, does anybody know any different? If you save a waypoint on that Helix unit, will it transfer and show up on that Xplore unit? And if you save waypoints or anything like that on a Xplore unit, will it transfer and show up on that Helix unit? Because that is a very big, I'd say a very big deal if, you know, if that does not. That's just for me in the way that I fish, guys. All right, Big Ivy says, who you going to have show, who you going to have on the show? Kevin Van Dam? Nah, it's not going to be Kevin Van Dam, but hey, you never know. But nah, it's not going to be Kevin Van Dam, guys. All right, let's see. All right, so we have Serious. What is that? Seriously says, does this mean the older models will be more affordable for people? I think so. I think I was speaking to someone earlier today who's like, hey, I'm going to now upgrade my Helix to Solix because those Solix, the Gen 3 Solix units, I think they're fine because those are will be compatible with the Mega Live 2, but the Gen what is that, 1 and 2 Solix, from what I'm understanding, those will not be. But I mean, that's not to say they're not good units. All right, so let's see. Greg says he is with Lawrence. All right, Kevin Smith, he says, I don't have any type of forward-facing sonar. He's like, hey, I can get out here and make things happen without forward-facing sonar. All right, Beards and Bass says, No, I'm good with mega side imaging. All right, so he doesn't need any of that stuff either. We have faith in fishing. What's going on? Good to see you in the chat. All right, so like I said, for anybody that's just tuning in, this is a very live and interactive show. I like to go through here and get the thoughts, opinions, and suggestions from people that are in the chat, so that we can kind of talk about it. All right, so I'm just hopping in here real quick just to see where we're at. Okay, I'll go through a few more of these chat messages. We're almost caught up in here. Want to give a big shout out to Steve Wimpy. I see you down there. I'll get to your comment in just a second. All right, so Hunter Taylor says, ready to see the new Mega Live. It'll have to blow me away to get rid of my Garmin. Uh-oh, Hunter Taylor is thinking about getting rid of. Okay, all right. All right, but yeah, so that's what we're here for. I mean, to share our experiences, our thoughts, whatever it is that we and actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me try a little something, guys. While I'm going through these, just in case anybody's tuning in. So the video that I was playing earlier is directly from this video over here is directly from the Humminbird website. So if you want to see the full thing, I just went over a few clips that were very impressive to me as far as the Xplore unit. Now the Mega Live 2, that's a little different. We didn't talk about that yet. All right, Beards and Bass says live fishing can be an adventure. That is true. All right, so Elliot says, I would like to know if everyone like me thinks the price is just going to make Humminbird lose their working class customers. I'm going to Garmin. Better bang for buck on a budget. All right, so I'll pull that up in just a second. We're going to go over pricing too. All right, so big shout out to Clint Perry. He is the current sponsor of the live stream, guys. He hit the channel with the $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate you. All right, so let's see. What else do we have, guys? All right, so here's a good one. Vernon Neal, he said, I'll probably upgrade my 2 Helix 10s at the bow to Xplore units to view down imaging and side imaging and Mega 360. I switched to Garmin Live Scope a few months ago and wasn't impressed with the Mega Live 2 footage from the new release. Now, what I would say for me is I like seeing the actual live footage from someone that is out there on the lake doing their thing the same way that any of us would. And that's what I'm going to be able to bring to you guys next week, guys. So make sure that you have subscribed to the channel so you'll get the notification. So I'll put out a few videos for you. I may do some members only content for that. But if anybody has not been following my channel, just search MoneyBass Mega Live. And I believe that my channel may have the most content dedicated to live imaging as far as Humminbird Mega Live goes, guys. So just search MoneyBass Mega Live. And if you want to know anything about installation, about settings, any of that stuff, I will be live on the lake on, today is Tuesday, but Thursday. I will be live on the lake Thursday, maybe around anywhere from 10 to 12 o'clock, just depending on the weather, guys. But if you're new to the channel, just make sure you tune in for that, because I will be showing you my live footage. But I have the Mega Live 1 right now, so you will be able to see how that looks on my boat, and then you will be able to compare it next week whenever I'm out there and I'm bringing you the Mega Live 2 footage. All right. All right, so let's see what else did let me see. Vernon said, he says, I switched to Garmin Live Scope a few months ago and wasn't impressed with Mega Live 2 footage from the new release. All right, so yeah, I definitely put more I put more weight into seeing the actual footage from someone that is out there using it on their own, and not where it may be not necessarily professionally installed, but there could be a little more enhancement to it than maybe what the average fisherman may have. All right, so let's see. Oh my goodness, Kevin Two Fishes. Is this Kevin Two Fishes, Kevin Smith? But yeah, so apparently you know a little bit about my night job. All right. Let's see. Faith and Fishes says, spoke to Humminbird, and if you have a Solix G3, but your other units are older Solix or Helix, once you upgrade the user interface, you will no longer be able to network with everything else. Oh my goodness. And see, I tried to call them earlier today, but I was a little late. I called them a little late. They were already closed. So that right here, shout out to Faith and Fishing. That is some very, very important information. And me, I always trust but verify. So anything that you hear me say on this channel, you can trust it, but you definitely want to verify before you go out spending your money on making decisions on things. But do like Faith and Fishing says spoke to Humminbird, and if you So they spoke to Humminbird, which is the key thing. You want to go straight to them to get your information. And says, if you have a Solix G3, but your other units are older, Solix or Helix, once you update the user interface, you would no longer be able to network with everything else. Man, that's crucial. So yeah, I would definitely contact Humminbird, let them know what units that you have on your boat so that you can make a very informed decision before you go and buy something that may not be compatible or may not do exactly what you were expecting, guys. All right, so let's see. Cortez Cook says, yes, we'll be getting the Xplore 2. Okay. All right, sounds good. Darren Pearson says, don't forget that the Solix is getting phased out too. Did you guys hear that the Solix is getting, is it all of the Solix are getting phased out, or is it, that could be true. Because you know what, now that I think about it, I think I did kind of hear something like that, but I don't know for sure with that one, guys. Like I said, you can trust but verify. Always verify this information before you go out and you make your decisions. All right, Reaper says, I'm running Helix 10, but let's be honest, all this stuff is overpriced. In a little 2-letter addition to the end of that. What's good? What's going on? Shout out to Steve Wimpy. Shout out to SWAT Lawn Operations. They are the sponsor for the Bass for Cash. Now, anybody that is new to the channel, you want to make sure that you have subscribed. This channel is growing fast. I go out on a weekly basis and do this thing that we call Bass for Cash, where I catch the fish, I show you the fish. All you have to do is guess the weight of the fish, and you can win cash prizes paid out by Steve Wimpy right there that you guys see with SWAT Lawn Operations. All right. Make sure you guys tune in for that. I'll be back out there again on Thursday, and I'll show you guys some mega live footage too. I'll show you some mega live footage. I may let you guys pick the baits that I fish with for that day if you want to see some tracking or something like that. All right, Fishing for Dollar says, I will keep them till they puke out. He said, let me see, start replacing, going to get at least one Xplore for the Mega Live 2. All right, so Fishing for Dollars. Fishing for Dollars. Oh, shout out to Fishing for Dollars. Actually won the last payout, I believe, for the Bass for Cash. I think, what was that you won? About $60. All right, Big Ivy says the Helix 8 is the only one that's going to take off, that they're going to take off the market. All right, good deal with that. Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. What did I miss? Shout out to Daniel. He says, let me get in here one more time. All right, good job. Really, really appreciate that, Daniel. Really appreciate the strong support of the channel. And as you see, he has a badge next to his name. He is a member of the money team. But what I have to do real quick, I know we are live, guys, but I have to get in here and do some work because I always have to give credit where credit is due. So shout out to Daniel. So what I'm doing is just updating this banner, guys. Whoever gives the largest super chat or super sticker during the live streams is the sponsor of the live stream. So if you guys take a look now, you will see that banner says special thank you so much to the sponsor of today's live stream, Daniel. All right, really, really appreciate you, sir. All right, so let's see. Let's hop back into the comments real quick. You guys are moving rather fast in here. So let's see what else. Okay, let me get caught up real quick. All right, let's see. Okay, here's a good one. Seriously says, fishing out of a kayak right now. Does it make sense putting a forward-facing sonar on that? But this spring, I will be getting a boat and some type of forward-facing sonar. Now, I don't know about that one. Seriously. What is that? Seriously. Okay, I just keep it with seriously. But I've seen a lot of people with forward-facing sonar on their boats. I mean, that's kind of the big thing. They have full kitted out kayaks out here nowadays. Yeah, it's things are kind of getting out there. Big Ivy says Kevin Van Dam is using it on one of these videos. That is right. Yeah, they did use it on there, but what I will be able to show you guys is a more detailed view of the of the live imaging. And let me just do something real quick because I think I see something that's happening. I gotta take some notes. All right. Let me see. Let's do this because I did put that poll question up there. So I want to change that out, but let's just take a look real quick. So the poll question that we currently have is, are you running Mega Live 1 currently? So we have 60% of you are saying no. Yeah, 60% of you are saying no, but 40% of you are saying yes, you are running Mega Live right now. So now let's go to this next question. Are you going to upgrade? Of that 40% that answered, are you going to upgrade? We're going to start a new poll. Are you going to upgrade to Xplore and Mega Live 2? All right, there we go. Are you going to upgrade to Xplore and Mega Live 2? All right, so we'll keep it simple, guys, and we'll go with a yes. Actually, let me just take Xplore out of here, because you can actually use Apex and that Solix Gen 3 or above with the Mega Live 2, right? So we'll just go, are you going to upgrade to Mega Live 2? That's what we'll do. So we'll go with, keep it simple once again, and we'll go with a all right. Just want to make, I had to change the screen out real quick, guys. All right, so here we go. Let's see. So yeah, make sure you guys participate in the poll. There is a storm out here, so things are kind of fuzzy right now. But I'm gonna try to get through the information kind of quick for you. Wait a minute, did I miss something else? Did I miss something? Shout out to Clint Perry. Hit me with the 2. He says shout out to Daniel. He's hit me with a super chat and shouting out Daniel. All right, so Clint doing his thing. Big deal. I mean, good deal, good deal. Really appreciate you. Let's see. And also, I think I missed something else. What is happening in here today, guys? Whoa, Daniel hit me with the $20 super chat. So yeah, that made Daniel the sponsor of today's show. All right, really appreciate that. And let's see, I always have to give credit where credit is due, guys. Big shout out to Joe Winkler. He hit us with 5 MoneyBass memberships. Now, what that means is some of you guys that are viewing right now may have just received a MoneyBass membership, which means you will now have a badge next to your name and you are a member of the channel. And you know what? That right there put Joe Winkler as the sponsor of today's live stream, guys. So I have to always give credit where credit is due. So just bear with me. They're putting me to work. So what I do is I update this banner because I always want to acknowledge the people that are, showing this type of strong support for the channel, guys. All right, so there we go. So now if you take a look at the banner at the bottom of the screen, it says special thank you so much to the sponsor of the live stream, Joe Winkler. Everybody, if you could put JW in the chat. He gifted 5 memberships. And also, if you received one of those memberships, you have to hit him with a thank you, Joe. Put thank you, JW, in the chat if you were the recipient of one of those nice gifted memberships. So you guys will have access to not only members only content, but what I told you guys is that we do this thing called Bass for Cash, where I am live on the lake catching fish. I show you guys those fish. All you have to do is guess the weight of the fish, and you can win a cash prize. I think the pot is currently at, is that pot currently at $30? Is it $25 or $30? But as people do not guess, it keeps rolling over from day to day. It does not cost a thing to participate. The members of the channel, the members of the money team, they get 2 guesses per fish. If you are not a member of the channel, but you do have to be subscribed, it does not cost a thing to participate. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and you will get 1 guess per fish, guys. So a lot of people have been winning. So shout out to Fishing for Dollars. I think that's somebody that's in the chat right now. They won the last payout, and that was $60. The highest payout that has been paid so far is $150 cash money sent straight to your pocket. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. And here we go. Shout out to Clint Perry. He says Joe is kicking it. All right. Big shout out to Clint Perry. Really, really appreciate that, sir. All right. All right. So I'm going to hop back into the chat. So if you put a message in here and I missed it, make sure you wait a minute. Clint Perry is doing his thing. He hit me with the $5 super chat. Clint Perry is like, hey, I might think about coming and taking this title for the sponsor of tonight's live stream. He says, best bass fishing channel there is. Really appreciate that, Clint. Oh, yeah, Clint, you won one of the payouts for Bass for Cash, right? Clint is like, oh, yeah, I like this Bass for Cash thing. All right, so I see you guys shouting out Joe Winkler. Really, really appreciate that. All right, so Joe Winkler says, just started snowing a little bit here in Iowa. Oh, man. Yeah, it's kind of chilly out here a little bit, but yeah, we're having a little bit of rain, but not snow. I think we will be in the 30s and 40s this week, but I will still make it out there on the lake for you guys on Thursday. I'm not going to make it out there tomorrow because of the weather. So yesterday, today, and tomorrow have been some rainy days out here. So I've been kind of staying off the lake, guys. All right, so let's see. So now what I'm doing is I'm going back through the chat again. I'm just looking to see if you guys have any questions or comments about your current setup what you're planning on doing. If some of you guys, I see that you're talking about upgrading to the Xplore 2 and the Mega Live 2 system. All right. So another question for you guys: who is running either Apex or the Solix and is going to upgrade to Mega Live 2, but you don't have to upgrade your units? So let us know that in the chat also. Big shout out to Steve Wimpy. He said bass for cash is $30. All right. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in. All you have to do is guess the weight of the fish. It does not cost anything to participate. On Thursday, I will be live on the water and I'll show you guys some Mega Live footage. I mean, this is a Mega live stream right now. So I'll show you guys some Mega Live footage. I'll actually show you guys some fish on the screen that I'm going to target and see if we can get those fish to the boat. If you guess the exact weight of the fish, as you see, you will win a $30 bill sent straight to your pocket. All right. So we do cash payouts over here on this MoneyBass thing. All right, let's see. I'm going back into the chat. So if I miss your question or your comment and you see where I'm at in the chat, guys, just put it in here again and then I'll pull it up. All right, so Daniel says, I'm not the top dog, just love running with them. Shout out to JW, Clint Perry, SWAT, and so on. All right, good deal. All right, so Elliot says, I run 3 Helix. He says, I run 3 Helix 5 in my tiny boat. All right, so you got 3 of them. All right, and then let's see, 3 Helix 5 in my tiny boat. Have been saving for an older bass boat and wanted to go a bigger Helix. Only used down imaging and side imaging and wanted a 360. Now I'm thinking Garmin will be better. Size and options versus price. So yeah, I mean, it just depends. Everybody has their, may have different needs depending on what your current setup is, what your budget is, what size your boat is, as you see. Shout out to Elliot. So yeah, so I mean, I think this is a very good resource, guys. So like I said, make sure you keep putting your questions and your comments in here so we can all continue to help each other out. So I would do my part the same way I'm going to do my part on Thursday and bring a few fish to the boat so you guys can, see if you can guess the weight of the fish and win you a little bit of cash for your pocket. All right. Shout out to Jason. What does Jason have to say? Jason says, newbie here, just like content. Helix are trash. Oh my goodness, my soundboard isn't working. But if I'd hit it, I'd have to hit the screeching sound on that. All right. So Jason, what is it that you do not like about Helix and what units do you run? All right. So yeah, like I said, we're going to try to get some things out here. I mean, people have differences of opinions, different experiences out there on the water, but there may be some information that someone has that can help you out. So yeah, let us know. Let us know what your experience is with that. All right. So like I said, if I skipped your comment or your question in the chat, you guys see I'm down toward the newer comments now because I skipped a few of them. So make sure that you go back and re-enter your comment, especially if you have a question. All right, but big shout out to Jason. Really, really appreciate you for taking the time to hit the channel with the $9.99 super chat. But yeah, I want to see if we can provide some value to some other members of the channel. Just let us know, what units are you running, Jason? All right, let's see. What else do we have in the chat? Shout out to Mike Porter. Has anybody heard of Bass and Bougie? We got to get Bass and Bougie over here doing their thing on YouTube. But Bass and Bougie is big over there on TikTok. So make sure you check them out. Go ahead and support some of your local anglers. Let's see what Bass and Bougie has going on these days. Shout out to Mike Porter. All right, really appreciate you for tuning in. All right, let's see. Who else do we have in here? I'm going back and forth just trying to see. So Hunter Taylor, what's going on, Hunter Taylor? Says, got an Apex at the console and Solix 15. Okay, so you're big dog out here in these YouTube streets. Got the G3, the 15, okay, on the shelf that can be used if this new Mega Live is good. Okay, so you have a G3 on standby. Man, you got it good over there. I wish I had it that good. But yeah, so I'm going to be out there live on the water. Well, I'll be live on the water this week showing you guys my current settings and everything running the Mega Live 1. I'll show you currently how I have mine set up, the bait tracking, all that good kind of stuff. We're going to target fish. For example, I'm going to tell you like, hey, do you guys see this fish right here? Let me go ahead and take this down off the screen. But I'll show you guys the cover, the structure, show you the fish. I'll show you the bait, and then we'll see if we can catch those the fish that I'm targeting right there on the screen. All right, so shout out everybody saying yo Joe. All right, J-O for Jason Olivo. Am I saying that right? Really appreciate that $9.99 super chat. Everybody put J-O in the chat. All right, really appreciate it. All right, let's see. But yeah, so Hunter Taylor says they're running that Solix. All right, so you do not have to upgrade your units. Man, wish that was me. But yeah, I'm running 4 Helix units, guys. All right. Let's see. Doug Mead, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a minute. Says, jumping on here late. Are Helix G4N units compatible? Can somebody give Doug the bad news? Can somebody answer this question for Doug in the chat? I just want to see, does anybody know? So jumping on here late, he says, are Helix G4N units compatible? And I'm just assuming that you're saying, are they compatible with Mega Live 2? The answer to that is no. None of the Helix units are compatible. I don't know if anybody already answered that question down in the chat, but like I said, make sure you guys continue to provide value to each other in the chat. I'm going through these questions and comments just as quick as I can. And if you guys go and take a look at the comments and some of the videos that are out, there's a lot of, mixed reaction, especially from the Helix guys. Anytime somebody gets hit in the pocket, I mean, we want the new toys, but we don't want to pay all that extra money for it. So yeah, there's going to be, a little bit of controversy that goes on with that anytime. I mean, whether it's Lowrance, Garmin, or Humminbird, all of them, they come out with these updates, new units and all that kind of stuff. So we get some new toys that come out, but we don't want to pay that extra for it. Why can't we just plug it into what we already have? All right, Barry, this is a Bean King. What's going on? Shout out to the money team. He says, got a fairly new boat with 4 Helix, Mega Live, and 360. It upsets me that I have to buy new units for Mega Live 2. That is exactly what I'm saying. And I guess for me, the thing that I would say bothers me more is that if you do get that one Xplore unit, that Xplore unit is not going to communicate with those Helix units. I'm hoping somebody comes in the chat and tells me that no, that is incorrect, because I do not want that to be true. Because I was thinking about upgrading and just getting one Xplore unit, but at that point, that Xplore unit would be kind of like a standalone unit. But yeah, if anybody knows any different, make sure you put that in the chat, because I'm hoping that part of, from what I'm understanding, that is correct, but I'm hoping that it is not. All right, Jason says the processors are slow and no touchscreen. Okay, I can understand that. I currently run 3 HDS Live Pros and 1 Garmin. What is that? 8612 for Live Scope. All right, so you're running a combination of Garmin and Live Scope, and that's the other thing, guys. I run all Humminbird, but there are guys in here that are running Lowrance, Garmin, that may have full Lowrance on their boat or full Garmin on their boat, or they may have a mixture of Garmin and Lowrance and Humminbird, Lowrance and what did I say? Did I leave something out? But you guys get the idea. So no matter what kind of setup you have, there is somebody in here that is watching right now that has your setup. So make sure you put your questions, even if it doesn't pertain to the Humminbird system or the Mega Live or anything like that, because there may be somebody in here that can help you out with those questions if you're running into any issues. All right. Clint Perry, shout out to Clint Perry. He says, my man has commercials now. What kind of commercial did you see, Clint? Who was that was getting baby oil commercials when we were doing the live before, when I was out live on the water? All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. The Catch Fish Crew says, do you think the Mega Live 2 quality is on par or better than the other brands available? So for me, I am holding my judgment on that until I personally go out on the boat and I use Mega Live 2 myself. All right. So right now I run the original version of Mega Live, and for me, my tracking and everything has been great. You guys can go on my channel. Like I was saying earlier, if you search MoneyBass Mega Live, I would say that I have the most content for running Humminbird Mega Live than any other individual channel on YouTube. So whether you search MoneyBass Mega Live settings, MoneyBass Mega Live installation, MoneyBass Mega Live bait tracking, so make sure you guys search those. I have videos up for all of that stuff where I'm actually out there on the water, and I actually do live streams to where I'm live on the water and we're doing bait tracking. You guys are seeing me catch fish with it live. So what you see is actually what you get. It's not no type of edited videos or anything like that. You guys see me actually live on the water, but I do have just straight up video, like 8 to 10 minute, 15, 20-minute videos that you guys can go and watch if you're interested in settings, because I know a lot of you may go ahead and stick with the Mega Live 1, the original version. So I have a lot of content on here that will help you guys out too. So the Catchfish Crew, I will have content on that next week, because I will be out on the water live and I'll be able to bring some footage back to you guys with bait tracking, You'll be able to see fish, cover, structure, all that good kind of stuff. So if you have anything specific that you want to see, then make sure you put that in the comments. All right. And then I'll see if I can get that footage for you guys. All right. Greg says, would you do a live with no forward facing sonar? Yes, sir. We did it. So on my channel, for anybody who does not know, I host live tournaments. Another thing you can search is MoneyBass Battle of the Anglers. And what you will see is live tournaments that are hosted specifically on this channel. Shout out to Mike Porter. He's fished one live. I see him down in the chat. Shout out to Bass and Bougie. But yeah, so search MoneyBass Battle of the Anglers, and you will see us competing live on the lake. So we actually have had at least one where we did no electronics. I mean, we used our mapping. Well, actually, I think we just didn't use. You can use anything except for live imaging. So we've done actual tournaments like that. So we kind of mix things up. I mean, we're not too partial for trying anything. We'll try a little something out. All right, but yeah, shout out to Greg. So yes, the answer to that is yes. Yes, I have done that. All right, Jason says, let's see. Shout out to Jason. Honorable mention. Hit the channel with the $9.99 super chat. Really, really appreciate that, sir. Says the other HDS at Bow has active target too. So yeah, I mean, there are some people out there killing it with active target too. So yeah, I mean, it's all in preference, guys. And whatever you have, you just have to make the best of it. Once you invest those funds, you want to make sure you get out there and get the most out of it. All right, Daniel says, great show, Money Bass. Gotta go. All right, Daniel, I know I'll see you out here on Thursday. Remember, I will be live on Thursday doing this thing we call Bass for Cash. I catch the bass, you guess the weight, and you win cash prizes, guys. Just that quick and simple. All right, shout out to Mike Porter with Bass and Bougie. He says, I run all three, but love my Humminbird. Okay, all right. So, oh yeah, and you run live imaging too, right? You run Humminbird. Do you run Mega Live on yours? I think you do have live imaging. But yeah, once again, guys, shout out to Bass and Bougie on TikTok. Make sure you guys support the people on here. I mean, a lot of you may have already heard of it, but go check out Bass and Bougie on TikTok. I think they're kind of moving over to the YouTube side of things too, guys. So make sure you go out there and support and subscribe. All right, Ace Carney, he says Mega Live 2 is the truth. Wait a minute, Ace, what do you know about Mega Live 2? Do you already have it? Do you have some info I don't know about? Shout out to Ace. Really appreciate that. Tuning in from the Facebook side of things. And also, as you guys see, Mike Porter, shout out to the Facebook crew, guys. All right, Elliot says, do you think it will hurt Humminbird as a company getting rid of most or all of their budget-friendly options? Man. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that, guys, because with the Xplore units, and let's go ahead and just take a look at that real quick. Let me just, yeah, where are we almost? Man, you guys are definitely getting active in the comments. So I'm going to stay in the comments for just a few more minutes, but let me do this real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Let's drop this down, and we're going to take a look because I did not think about that. So those 5 and 7 inch units and things like that, I do not think that is an option once you head over to the these Xplore units. All right, so let's drop this down real quick. All right, so here we go. So if we go to the Xplore unit, so you guys, can you see my mouse? Yeah, I don't think you can see my mouse on the screen, but this is the Xplore unit. So it has kind of a thicker profile to it. And this is directly on the Humminbird website. Now, somebody was asking about price range. Now, I clicked on this 12-inch right over here. And as you can see, let me just zoom that in for you. Do you guys see that price on there? That is $26.99. That's if you get the one with the transducer. If you're going to just run Mega Live only on it, for example, and you don't need that transducer. Let's see, did it update on me? 12-inch. So it knocks off $200. Did you guys see that? So it'll knock off $200 if you get the one without the transducer. I think they call that the CHO version. All right, so there you go. So they will come in a 9, 10, and 12-inch unit. So what Elliot was speaking about is that you no longer will have access to that 7, what is it, a 5-inch, 7-inch, 8-inch screens. They start off with a 9, so that more budget-friendly item. What do you guys think about that? But yeah, so good question. But I guess you're asking me, do you think it will hurt Humminbird as a company getting rid of most or all of their budget-friendly options? Man, and see, I don't really know enough about Garmin and and Lowrance if they have those smaller size units, those budget friendly units. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's a question for, and actually what we can do is I'll do a poll for that. That's a good poll question. Shout out to Elliot. Really appreciate that. All right. So let's take a look and see what that current poll was. So that poll that we had put out is, let's see, where did we go? Where did we go? Where did my poll question go? Am I on the wrong screen? Am I struggle streaming, guys? Let me see. Hold on a second, guys. Did I put the poll question up? I don't think I even put the poll question up there, did I? I did not. How did that happen? Did I miss the entire poll, guys? I thought I put the poll question about if you're going to, so we'll just go ahead and do that one real quick. We'll make sure we get that up. So are you going to upgrade to Mega Live 2? Are you going to upgrade to Mega Live 2? All right. And I know some of you, like I said before. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Hold on. Just bear with me, guys. This is a live show. And your partner's in here clicking on the wrong buttons. All right. So what we're going to do is put this poll up here. So this poll question is, there was about 40% of you that were saying that you currently run Mega Live, the first version of Mega Live. So what I want to know is, are you going to upgrade to Mega Live 2? And even if you don't have Mega Live 1, are you going to purchase Mega Live 2? So are you going to upgrade or purchase? So let's just say or purchase. And remember, these polls are to gauge the room and kind of just help people out with maybe, you know, you may be thinking about your decision process about what you want to do. So we'll keep it simple with yes and no. And again, make sure you guys hit the like button. It really does help the channel out if you hit the like button. That poll question is live and in action. And I see I may have missed a little something. Shout out to James Harmon. We have a new member. Everybody put LJ in the chat. I know it says JH, but I know who this is. Shout out to James Harmon over there with Lanier Bates. Really appreciate you for tuning in, sir, and becoming a member of the channel. Shout out. And also, make sure the Money Team members, make sure you guys give him a warm welcome. Put welcome LJ in the chat. Really, really appreciate that, sir. All right, let me hop back into the chat real quick. So what I'm going to be doing now is just going through, and also, I know my connection. Is my connection a little shaky tonight, guys? I know the weather isn't all that good out here right now. But what I'm going to do, I told you this is a very live and interactive channel. So I'm going to drop this call-in link. So if you want to call in, just make sure that your camera is on. That's what we call being cammed up. Make sure your camera is on. I will pull you up, and you'll be able to share the screen with me. You can let us know about your setup, what your thoughts are, if you're going to upgrade, if you're not going to upgrade, why you may or may not, if you have any specific questions or anything that people in the chat may want to that you may want answered. But that call-in link is in the chat, guys. And then we may have DL Peck. I know he was in a meeting, so he may not be able to come up this time, guys, but we'll get back to it. And if I skip your comment or question, because I'm moving around in here, and what I always try to do is the members of the Money Team, those are the people that you see with the badges next to their name. If you are a member of the Money Team, I try to make sure that I get your questions. But if I miss it, just make sure you put it in the chat again. All right, guys. All right, so let's hop back in here and see if I can find my spot. Where was I at? Because you guys are definitely getting active in the chat. Oh, and I see some great information in here. So what we're going to do now, guys, the call-in link is in the chat. So if you want to click that call-in link, I can pull you up and, you know, just hear your thoughts about it. And I'll just continue going through the chat real quick and see if I can get caught up. Uh-oh. I see some. Uh-oh, there we go. All right, let me see. I think I got Elliot. Do you think it will her? Okay, I got Elliot. Shout out to Joe Winkler. The current sponsor. Joe Winkler is the current sponsor of tonight's live stream, guys. He hit the channel with 5 gifted memberships. So we have 5 new members courtesy of Joe Winkler. If you could put JW in the chat. All right, so Paul Outdoors TV says, I'm running the Garmin 93 SV with the LVS 34. Okay, so I know you're out there doing some things and catching a fish or two. All right, let's see what else you guys talking about in the chat. All right, so I'm going to kind of try to zoom through these real quick, and then I'll go back to that poll question, because the other question was shout out to Elliot. Do you guys think that it's going to hurt Hummingbird's customer base by not offering, by phasing out those budget economy, what do we want to call that, economy sized graphs? All right, so here's another question. Cortez Cook says, will Mega Live 1 work better with Xplore with an Xplore 12-inch? So like I said, for me with these questions, I like actually seeing it with my own eyes. But to answer your question, what I think, because of that higher processor speed, that people that have the Apex and Solix units, I have heard that they do have better quality because they have that faster processor speed. So they get a better results with their Mega Live. So I would think, and I would, like I said, trust but verify, guys. Call Humminbird. Humminbird customer service is great. So I would think that with that faster processor speed, you're going to get a better quality image with that. All right, so let's see. Shout out to Mike Porter. Mr. Bass and Bougie says, guys are mad, but they'll be all right. He says, you're mad, but you'll be all right. All right, shout out to LJ. He says, LJ here. What's up, MoneyBass, in the chat, folks? Shout out to LJ, new member of the channel. Really appreciate it, sir. All right, Joe Winkler says, birds are all being phased out. Expect the new X units. Oh, my goodness. We're getting phased out, guys. I'm running 4 Helix units. My feelings are hurt. All right, shout out to Randy. He says, I'm not going to buy any more Humminbird products. Randy says, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Why did you get rid of my Helixes? All right, shout out to Mike Porter. He says, I will be getting Explorers and move my Helix units down to my John boat. Oh, no. Don't say it ain't so. The Helix units oh, man, the Helix units are getting kicked to the back of the house. They're like, hey, you got to get out the house. You got to go back there and stay in the in-law suite. Get demoted to the John boat. Oh, my goodness. All right, wait a minute. Shout out to There He Go Fishing. He says, I already got the pre-order. He said, I'm already ready. I'm already on it. So what did you pre-order, There He Go Fishing? Did you get the Xplore and the Mega Live 2? And I believe you were running Solix units. What gen Solix units did you have? Did you have Gen 3 or better? Because if that's the case, then maybe you're just going to upgrade to the Mega Live 2. Yeah, let us know what your setup is on your boat. Oh, man, Doug says, dang. Just bought mine last year and barely used it. It still has the plastic on it. Oh, man, his feelings are hurt. All right, let's see who else we have. Paul Outdoors TV says, I'm running the LVS 34 with the Garmin 93. Okay, but from a kayak. All right, somebody else said they were running that kayak. All right, Mike Porter says, only communicate with Solix or Apex. Man, it hurts. It hurts. Shout out to LJ. He says, did you get upset when you had a iPhone 6 and they came out with the iPhone 7? Yes, I did. But actually, I have an Android, but I can feel the pain. Because sometimes don't they just change like one knob on there? It's not like a major change when they hit us with the iPhones. All right, so we have somebody that hit that call-in link. I'll put the call-in link in the chat again, guys. Like I said, we're here to share some information, try to help each other out, make good decisions whenever we're spending our money with these products. So that call-in link is in the chat. But let's see, who do we have here? We have, shout out to There He Go Fishing. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, money?
Well, man, I already got the pre-order.
Yeah, I got that. I'm going for that too. That Mega Live 2. I got that Solix. I got that Solix 12 Gen 3. So I'm gonna connect to that Gen 3, but I'm gonna take everything off and put that the Explorers on there. I got everything Solix.
Wow. Okay, you're a big dog in the game. So how many Solix units do you have?
I got 4.
And you're gonna get rid of all 4 of those Solix units?
Yeah, because 2 of them, I got 2 of them are Generations 2s, and then one's a Gen 3, and the other one's a Gen 1.
Okay.
So I have to get rid of all of them if I wanted to all communicate. So, but I know I got that 3 so far, so I'm gonna get rid of the rest of them.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So anybody want Solexes, they going for the cheap. I'm gonna get them going for the cheap. So
well, wait, we might have to save that for a Money Team exclusive. Don't tell them the prices yet. I may have to offer that to the members first. All right. So you guys shout out to LJ doesn't need to know the discount. So you guys see LJ in the chat. He actually does boat installations and sells these products too. So make sure you guys go and check out Lanier Baits. But yeah, so shout out to the members of the money team. So yeah, I'll get the inside info for you guys. Anybody wanting to pick up those solos, if I don't go ahead and snatch it up. So you're going to be getting rid of the Mega Live 1 too, right? The original transducer.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of that too. LJ, the one that got me tuned in on how to tune them in. So if y'all want to learn how to do some fishing on Lanier, get with LJ. He taught me a lot of stuff on Lanier. So he's a good teacher. So
Gotcha. All right. So I see Joe Winkler in this chat asking, what do you want for your unit? So he's a member of the money team. So listen, I'll get the info to you. We don't want to put it out there. So membership does have its privileges. So yeah, anytime what'd you say?
We'll talk, Ryan. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. All right. So look, what are your thoughts on the new Well, obviously you like it because you're already all in. But
I'm a birds man. I'm a birds man. The reason I got Solex is because of Porter. He was talking about him. And he was telling me, you can't be a good friend. You can't be friends with Porter, boy. He'll get you buying all kind of stuff. He'll tell you something, and you be like, "What?" And he'll show you, and they say, you want to spend some money. So if y'all want to be friends with Porter, don't do it.
Oh my goodness! Oh yeah, he always has some type of deal, a new product that he's showing. Shout out to Bass and Bougie over there doing his thing on TikTok. Yeah, and I know he's kind of coming over to the YouTube side of things too. So I'll see if I can help him out with that if I can.
Yeah,
all right, man. Was it?
Good units. I'm saying Humminbird. I'm always Humminbird. They always took care of me. Anytime I had a problem with a unit, I don't care if it was out of date, if it's broke, I sent it in. They gave me a brand new unit. Like if I had a Gen 1 that was broke, I sent it in and get fixed. They sent me a Gen 2 or Gen 3, whatever the new model was.
Right.
Humminbird always great customer service. So like I said, hands down, I'm not leaving Humminbird. I like it. It's easy, user friendly. The mapping, hands down, the best mapping. I don't care what anybody say. Lowrance sucks.
Oh Lord! Then somebody gonna have to challenge you to the lake. They're gonna be like, "Hey man, how about you meet me on the lake at high noon tomorrow? We'll see what you think about these Lowrance."
Contour maps, the shading. I mean, I can run a lake blindfold with Humminbird. You go with Lowrance, I got to go through 20 different pages just to find what I'm looking for. Humminbird, 2 screens, boom, boom, boom. I'm in there. So hands down, mapping in the gap. So
all right. And so you just recently fished a tournament where you were out there putting them to work. You came in with what, like 13 pounds or something like that? You did pretty good out there.
But what I'm telling you, them boys on Lanier, man, there's some killers out there. I think 15 places took 19 pounds. So like 15 pounds in 21.
Yeah.
So yeah, them guys out there, some beasts out there on Lanier. So
man,
good. Yeah, good.
All right. Well, look, let me know whenever you get those units in. I have to bring you back on. You said it's on pre-order. Do you know when you're supposed to receive it?
No, the guy's supposed to call me as soon as they come in. So I just went here and paid for it and told him so I get my hands on the first unit come in. So
wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, I definitely bring you back up. Really appreciate you for coming on.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to There He Go Fishing, guys. He said he's in there. He's in there. He's in it to win it. But guess who we have now? Guess who we have that's coming up? Oh my goodness. Is it DL Peck Fishing? Look at him. Looking all professional and everything. Man, look, I need to dim my lights a little bit more in here.
Oh, look at you, man. Look at you.
So what's going on? I've seen you've been doing your thing out here. So you're a Humminbird guy. I see you putting out some great content about it too. So what are your thoughts on this topic?
I think well, you probably already know how I feel about Helix, Humminbird. I think you and I, we pretty much almost have the same setup on our boats.
Right. So you're running, just let everybody know what your setup is on yours.
Okay. Well, right now I actually changed boats. So I used to run a couple of Helix on the console, 10-inch units, and then 2 12s up at the front. Right now I have a Helix 15 on my console, and then I have a Helix 12 and a Helix 10 on the bow. So I just got finished selling a 12-inch helix, so that should give you an idea of what I'm working on moving forward.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So that's my setup. As far as the product launch on yesterday, I think the images that I seen, they look amazing. I think you made a really good point about, sometimes maybe the pros don't have the exact same setup as us, regular folks just going to the store. But I really think what we seen is what we will get as long as we have our units powered correctly, running a correct voltage to them. I think that Mega Live 2 is going to be really sharp and crisp.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's my thing. I want to see what that bait tracking does out there. That's really my main thing, is that bait tracking. Because I mean, the way I have my setup now, I can get out there and make it do what it's supposed to do, but I want to see a little bit more on that bait tracking side of things.
Well, you actually see your bait hit the water. You seen that, right?
Oh, yeah.
A little splash. So
right. Yeah. So with the content that you've been putting out, what kind of responses have you been seeing in there? Because I know a lot of the Helix guys, they're in there like, I can't believe it. I'm mad. I'm big mad.
Helix folks are upset. The majority of them. I mean, the diehard Helix or Humminbird fans like myself, I mean, we don't care. We want to upgrade, right? But for majority are the Helix customers who just purchased Helix in the last probably 6 months, or they got a new boat with them, or they got a deal from Bass Pro or wherever they purchased them from. So that's what I think. That's what hit the most for those people.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I was seeing, especially because I mean, if you just got your system like 2, 3, 4, like you said, 6 months ago, and now all of a sudden you're looking like,
that's tough.
Oh man, and I've seen some people saying, maybe they should offer them some type of rebate or something like that. Be traded in for $500 or something. But
right. Yeah, that's another good point. I mean, I think they were looking for some type of buyback program, some kind of trade-in option. Well, I mean, these are like iPhones or any new devices that come out. I mean, you don't see these customers having too many trade-in programs. To some extent they do, but I mean, I just personally don't see Humminbird doing something like that. But it would be pretty cool to help those customers out.
Yeah, definitely. Look, so here's a question right here. Next hot question. Shout out to Doug. He says, are the Ethernet cables the same, or do you have to change it all out? So do you know the answer to that question? Because I think there's still that dongle that
it'll definitely be the same. I mean, you're gonna still have the same network hub. You can kind of confirm that in one of the videos. I mean, you've seen a newer network hub in there, so the cabling should be the same. Now, what I can tell you is about the transducer, because I have a couple on pre-order right now, and I did confirm that the transducer that works, the side imaging transducer that works with Helix currently, will not work with Xplore. You would need that, that Solix transducer or the Xplore or the Apex transducer for that to work on your side imaging. So I do know that cabling for the transducer would definitely be different.
Oh, okay. Wow. And so the transducer, what does that plug directly into the port, the 5-port hub?
No, that's separate. I was just adding that as extra. The 5-port hub network cable should be the exact same as we're using today.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. The burner season says, do you think the tech is becoming too much? What are your thoughts on that? Because I mean, there's some people that are anti electronics just all together. Some people are just anti forward-facing sonar. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, for me, that's kind of tough because I am an IT guy. I'm a software engineer, so I do like tech. So the only thing that's a little tough right now is where AI is going, and at the level that AI is going right now, that can be tough on us. So it's a little bit too much tech, and that's coming from me. So in the industry that I'm in.
And so I guess for me, I just think that you don't have to to me, I just look at, like, especially when we're talking about tournaments and stuff like that, there's options out there for everybody. I mean, there's all electric to where
Right.
electric motors. There's John boat tournaments. There's kayak tournaments. There's all of these type of tournaments. And if there isn't a type of tournament out there that you want to fish, you can do like we've done on my channel. We go out there and create our own. So
That's
we can
right.
like I can have a tournament this weekend. So like, hey guys, who all wants to go out here? We'll meet up. Do you guys want to do electronics? No electronics. What lake do you want to be on? So for
Right.
me, some people want to go out there, and you've seen, I've been out there sometimes where I'm doing a whole lot of talking and a whole lot of showing everybody what's on the screen, excited about that. And I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot. You guys wanted me to catch some fish too, right?
Right.
Because I mean, you just get out there and have fun with the electronic side of it, but you're still enjoying outdoors. So
Right.
Looking from the tournament side of things, I think I can see how some people don't like that transition from being able to going from that old school way of fishing to now
Right.
seeing the electronics being phased in. And I mean, there's somebody sent me a picture with like moving lures with battery operated lures and stuff.
Oh, I
And
see
they were like, do you think this is too much? And I was like, it just depends. Maybe that person, that's fun for them to throw that out there and see if a fish will
Right.
hit it. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
still see the excitement in that. But as far as can they use it in the tournament in the tournaments that we have now? I would say no. But what if
Right.
somebody hosts a tournament that tournament is electronic lures? You see what I mean? So
Right. You can mix it up. It's so much
Right.
variety. I
Right.
totally
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
So it's like you go through that a la carte menu and pick what you want.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So
there was one more comment that you had further up. I think it was Kravitz Cooks, maybe. And they were asking about the Mega Live 1 and how it would look like on the Solix.
Right.
And I can answer that question because
Okay.
I have a partner who runs all Solix, 3 Solix units on his boat with Mega Live 1, and we were just out. I'm getting ready to drop another video of some footage from his boat on the Solix with Mega Live 1. And I can tell you, to your point about the processing speed, it makes a ton of difference. So Mega Live 1 on a Solix versus a Helix is miles away.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. I have some footage on that in the upcoming video, a December video vlog.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I may need to go ahead and talk to There He Go Fishing about that 12 he has.
That's what I'm saying.
But listen, so this is think about this though. So now how we're saying those Xplore units, if you have 4 Helix units, say you get rid of one, now you have 3 units, 3 Helix and 1 Xplore. That Xplore is like a standalone. But if you have the Solix Gen 3, that is still compatible with the Helix units, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so maybe that's a workaround. Maybe I'd have to look into it and see. So if let's say you have 3 Helix units, you want to go ahead and upgrade to Mega Live 2. So you get that Gen 3 Solix unit, and now you can put Mega Live 2 on that and still have it integrated, have Mega Live 2 with your setup now without having to upgrade all the way to the Xplore, which would not be on that network.
Right. And I think what you're getting down to is the mapping. You want to be able to still, share your waypoints across the network.
Right, exactly.
Right. So keeping your Helix on the same network would be, but right now I think we need to wait for Humminbird to tell us because back in the day you could somehow still have a Solix and a Helix as part of the network to share your waypoints. And there's on their website, there is a compatibility with network chart on their website that tell you if you have a Solix and a Helix, this is what you could share. But you can't share, your 360 or maybe even your Mega Live and things like that. But you used to could share waypoints. And I don't think Humminbird has made an official announcement. I could be wrong. If you're going to be able to share waypoints with the Xplore and the Helix in the same network. But it'll be nice. I hate for them to take that functionality away because it'll give customers time to, make a decision if they want to upgrade or not. They can at least still have their network.
Okay. All right. And shout out to the new member of the channel. Shout out to LJ, James Harmon. He says, what is his channel? So let everybody know about your channel and what you do over there.
All
See if
right.
you can get a few subscribers. Go over there and check out
man,
DL
just give
Pet
a
Fishing.
few. I was wondering if you were going to loan me a few money because, you're just killing it out here, man. But my channel is DL Pet Fishing. That's on YouTube. And of course, my channel is a little bit different in terms of how I present some of my tournament vlogs. I do mostly tournament vlogs on my channel. I do some lives, thanks to Money. You know, watching him a little bit, I jump on live a little bit. But mainly, I do a lot of my tournament coverages with Texas Bass Nation and the local club here in Texas. And
Okay.
what's unique about them is that I try to provide some kind of value. You know, you see a lot of channels where, you know, you just see the guys fishing and not talking and
Right.
just showing the footage. But what I do to try to bring some value is maybe sharing what I'm doing out on my boat, what baits that I'm using, and also
The location.
location.
I'm like, goodness gracious, he's showing showing
I don't show
everything.
you every spot. Don't think I'm showing you
Right.
every spot, but I am giving you some juice in those videos. They are legit. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I spin it on tournament vlogs, because tournament vlogs are hard to get views on. So
Right. Yeah,
I try to
exactly.
make it as interesting as possible. And then, of course, I do unboxing of new products and things like that. So, you know, just whatever I feel like is beneficial and help the channel grow. I'm still growing out here.
Gotcha. All right. So it's DL Peck Fishing, guys. So make sure you go on over there and check him out. Look at his newest video and put MoneyBass sent me. Let's
That's
see who's
right.
going to check out DL Peck Fishing.
I
All right. So we
appreciate
have a question for you from Elliot. Says, does
right.
your guest think this will hurt or help Humminbird as a company getting rid of the most of the budget units? So because if they're phasing out the Helix units, that means those 7 and 8 inch graphs, those smaller ones, because they still have 5-inch units too.
I don't think so. I
Yeah, I
think it
think it's
started at 7.
sevens,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Mhm.
so 7s, 8.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think that's going to hurt the company?
I think they're a pretty smart company, and I think before they made this decision, they really looked into this and investigated. They knew that they were going to have some people that was going to, you know, jump the ship. But, you know, I think if you were going to jump the ship, you were probably going to jump it anyway. And
Right.
I don't think it's going to hurt them too bad. They'll lose a little bit, but if you just take that Xplore and compare it to the Helix right now, it's tough to sell, you know,
Right.
with all the features. And I mean, now the Helix looks almost like it's a legacy product. So I think as long as they're providing some support to the Helix for a while, they'll be okay. But if they just totally say, I'm not supporting it, you know, you can't send it in for support or anything like that, or no more software update.
Just gonna hurt our feelings like that.
I just want to be straight up and, you know,
Right.
it's a tough thing. It really is. I mean, you talking to someone who that's all I have is Helixes. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
you know, and I could have done the Solix, but I was so used to, I don't know if you had them back in the day, but the Helix used to be the 798 and 898 and 998 units.
Right.
Very similar to those. And I didn't have to have the touch screen. I could just, you know, press buttons and I knew where all the menus and things like that. So I was very comfortable with a Helix instead of the touch screen.
Right. Yeah. And I started off with the 5. I think I had a 587 or something like
wow,
that.
Yeah.
The first one. And I was
Right.
amazed. I was like, oh my
You
goodness.
need the glasses and everything on that.
I was like, oh man, I've made it. I got a 587 on my boat.
Exactly. So yeah, I think they'll be fine as a company, as long as this Mega Live 2 does well for them and everyone is excited. They'll find some way to upgrade it eventually.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you for taking a quick minute or two to
All
come
right.
out here.
Appreciate
but
you
everybody
having me.
everybody put DLP in DLP in the
There you
chat.
There
Shout
you
out
go.
to DL Peck Fishing. All right, man. Good
All
to
right,
see you. I
guys.
see
Thank
you out
you.
there on Thursday. We'll be back out there on Thursday.
You know I'll be there.
See if you can win a little bass for some cash.
I need it for the Mega Live too, man.
Look, I might need to see if I can play. They won't let me win on my own show.
All right, guys. Tight lines to everybody.
I really appreciate you.
All right, see you.
All right, there we go. So yeah, make sure you guys go and check out DL Peck Fishing. He's doing big things over there on the YouTube side of things, putting out some a lot of good content with the Helix units and Mega Live too, guys. So yeah, so you guys see, I mean, we have a little bit of mixed reactions in here, but let's take a look. So that poll that I put up earlier, are you going to upgrade or purchase Mega Live 2? We have 71% of you are saying no, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. We have 31%. Okay, it's moving just a little bit, but 31% of you are saying yes, you are going to upgrade or move up to the Mega Live. And we have 69% of you are saying no, you are not. You're going to stay where you're at. Either you have the Mega Live 1 or you have nothing. All right. All right. So good deal. Let's see what else we have in the chat. Shout out to LJ. James Harmony says, those that have Helix G4N models and Mega Live 1, you can get a great picture once they're tweaked up. Don't have to move to the new units immediately. Make sure all of the kinks are out. That is true. So like I said, I will be out here on the lake again live on Thursday, guys. I will be live on Thursday. So if you want to see what those images look like on the Mega Live, I'll show you some bait tracking. I'll show you different baits. I'll let you choose the baits that I throw out there too, guys. So shout out to the money team. Like I said, membership does have its privileges. All right, so let's see. We have somebody else that wants to come up and speak their thoughts on this topic. What's going on? We have
What's up,
fantastic.
Money?
Haven't seen you in a minute. Fantastic Gordo back again.
Hey, by the way, it says I'm Fantastic Gordo, but on your chat it's Faith and Fishing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's the same. So when you see that, it's the same.
All right, there we go. Because you put something in. You said if you have Solix G3, you have to upgrade it to the new user interface in order to use Mega Live 2. But it will only be a standalone. So my workaround.
Money.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on my Mega Live to come back, my one to come back from Humminbird, because I had that trolling motor interference issue
Right.
after, and this is the third one I had to send back, and they keep sending a new one or a replacement. So I took that after I watched the launch. I had it set on my phone after I launched. And I wanted to point out something that I think Humminbird is coming out with something bigger in the future. But I did take the opportunity after seeing the launch and everything, and my feelings were hurt because I run a Solix 12 on my console that's a G3, and then I
Okay.
have a Solix 15, but it's G2, and
Oh man.
then I have a Helix 12 G4N that's what I use my Mega Live for. And so I thought just like you did. I said, well, great. I got one that's compatible. Maybe if it's talking to that one, maybe I could probably still be able to see it on the other screens, like if it networked together and
Right.
all that. And so I did call Humminbird to check on my product, and I said, hey, by the way, I just saw the launch. Let me ask you a couple questions. And I said, I got a Solix G3, and he said specifically, he said, because you have to, if you were just to plug up the new Mega Live 2 straight to your G3,
Right.
it won't work unless you update your G3 to the new operating system.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
because now you got a new operating system, you lose the availability to talk to the rest of your units.
So it won't even talk to the Generation 2 Solix?
So it won't even talk to Generation 2. You'll lose your mapping and all that. Yes, yes. And I mean, you can go listen, just like Money says, you go find out for yourself. But I know I talked to them yesterday because that was my concern. Because I was like,
Right.
dude, I just bought this Solex like less than 6 months ago. And matter of
Right.
fact, I'm still paying it off.
Oh no. Oh
So,
no.
I'm one of those guys, man. I mean,
Like
this
put some
stuff is like,
salt in this wound right here for me.
it's, um, um, so it did hurt my feelings. I do see where they're going. I, I, he did mention another thing. They use different companies. They use different companies, to build a new product. So it's no longer like the old companies.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
outside. And so that's why they got a new operating system. And also, did you peep out on on the transducer that it also has on the outside.
I saw that. What is
So
that?
I don't know. I asked and he wouldn't tell me nothing.
Uh-oh.
But what I'm thinking is, I think that in the future you're probably going to be able to put two together, and kind of have one landscape and one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that that's where they're headed,
Yeah.
and obviously that's why I think that they went with 4 processors instead of 2 on the Solix.
Gotcha.
I think that that's probably I'm gonna call it out now. I'm gonna be the first one to say it.
Hey, there you go.
But man, it's gonna be a long road for me before I can. I think from what I've seen, and if you also look at Brandon Polonick's page,
Mm-hmm.
if you guys follow him, he's got some screenshots. I don't think it's Garmin like yet, but I think it's close, and it
Okay.
looks good for what Humminbird is. But I think that they got some more stuff coming down the line, but they gotta get better units to perform it
Gotcha.
because they don't use a black box.
Right. Yeah. So from what I was understanding, that's why they have that higher processor speed built into the unit itself, into that Xplore.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. I saw the same thing you saw online. But yeah, I hate to break it to you, man, but yeah,
My
we
workaround is dead.
once you update your Solex, that's it. It's now
Man.
it's like it just left that group and went into this new group, and it's like y'all old, you know.
Right.
Um, and that just sucks, man. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Have to figure out another workaround. If there is, I guess the workaround is just put more money in your pocket to take back out of your pocket. That's the workaround.
Slowly, you know. I think that probably the better option right now for people are, a lot of people are going to be selling their units. A lot of people are going to go to these new. So I'm sure there's going to be some used Solexes on the market that are G3,
Right.
that 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 can help some people out. Hey, I'm always looking for a bargain. I mean, I got kids to feed, so.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I understand. I understand that. Oh, real quick, I got a question for you. Have you
Yeah,
ever heard of something called Bass for Cash?
I did. I watch your lives.
Okay. So you've been putting in some guesses in there, have you?
Man, I hurt my hand watching you live the other day, actually,
How did that happen?
because I'm a construction worker.
Okay.
So I hang up cabinets,
Okay.
and I pinch my hand, and because I was sitting there, you sitting there getting a fish, and I'm trying to figure out, look at it, and hold a cabinet at the same time, and
You're trying to get your guess in time.
I was cussing you out, money. I mean, I don't.
Oh man. All right. Well, maybe you'll make up for it on Thursday. I have to ease out there for you on Thursday. See if you can get the weight of one on Thursday.
I'll be out there, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right. I appreciate you too. Good seeing you again.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys. Shout out to the fantastic Gordo and also Faith and Fishing in the chat. All right. All right. See you later. All right. There we go, guys. So yeah, I mean, we've had some good info. We've had some good info coming in here. Let me see. What am I doing? Did I shrink myself down? But yeah, so we had some good info. Told you guys. I mean, we get some good things in here. So yeah, so now hopefully that has answered some questions in here. But want to give a big shout out to Joe Winkler. I believe Joe Winkler is the sponsor of tonight's live stream, guys. Like I say each week, whoever gives the largest super chat, super sticker, or show of support during the live stream is the sponsor of the live stream. So big shout out to Joe Winkler. I think he hit the channel with a $20 super chat. Oh, no, wait a second. He gifted 5 memberships. That's what he did. He gifted 5 memberships. So if you receive one of those gifted memberships, I think Karen did. I saw Karen thanking Joe in here. Let's see if I can find it. Was it Karen? Did Karen get one of those free memberships? Who else got a free membership? If you received a free membership, we have to show them some Southern hospitality. I'm down south, guys. So you need to go ahead and put a special thank you to Joe Winkler in the chat for that free membership. There we go. Shout out to Karen. She says, hello, everyone, and thank you for the gifted membership. Big shout out to Joe Winkler, guys. All right, he said he had to head out. All right, and big shout out to the people that came up. Who all came up? We had There He Go Fishing come up. We had Chef Boy come up, and also, not Chef Boy, Fantastic Gordo. Also, Faith and Fishing in the chat. That is in there. There he goes. So he said he busted our bubble, guys. I thought we had a workaround. He said if you have a Solix G3, you have to update it to the new user interface in order to use Mega Live 2. But it will only be standalone. No longer able to network or share waypoints unless you upgrade your units. It hurts. It hurts. All right. So there you go, guys. I hope that has brought some value to you guys. And also, let's see. Just real quick, you guys saw the poll that was up. So 69% of you are saying that you are not planning on upgrading at the moment to that Mega Live 2 system. And we have 31% of you that says, hey, I'm all in. Just like There He Go Fishing. And also, like I said, want to give a big shout out to Bass and Bougie. Make sure you guys go and support him on YouTube. If you know him from TikTok, he is migrating over to the YouTube side of things. So I want to give a big shout out to Bass and Bougie for tuning in, and everybody that came up and gave some information in the chat. Really, really appreciate that. And I am trying to see, but it will not give me access to everyone that participated and gave, some love to the channel. But I do want to give a big shout out to Clint Perry. He hit the channel with a few super chats. Really, really appreciate that, sir. And also Daniel. Really, really appreciate you guys. It definitely does not go unnoticed for anybody to go out of their way to take the time to gift memberships to the channel, which helps support you guys and allows you to bring, to see another side of the channel, which is the members only content. And also remember on Bass for Cash, you heard me talking about it with Fantastic Gordo, also Faith and Fishing. We do this thing called Bass for Cash, where all you have to do is guess the weight of the fish. It does not cost a thing to enter. All you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel. And if you guys take a look, we're almost 14,000 strong, guys. We're rolling. We're moving. We're trying to catch up to some of the big dogs out here in this YouTube thing. But we're doing it all in fun, guys. Want to always bring value, a little bit of entertainment and fun to you guys. So if you have any additional questions, make sure you put those down in the comment section. Anybody catching this on the replay, really appreciate you for taking the time to come and check it out. Thursday, make sure you guys tune in for live on Thursday. I will be out there anywhere from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. See if any of you can guess the weight of that fish. Shout out to SWAT Lawn Operations. They will be sponsoring that thing that we call Bass for Cash. All right, Chef Boy says ending pronounced Baskeet out. Am I saying that right? Baskeet. Am I saying that? Baskeet. Am I saying that right? Chef Boy Baskeet. Am I saying that right? I have my little country accent too. All right, but shout out to Chef Boy tuning in. All right, so let's see. LJ, let's see. He says, so how do I get in on the live tournament? Or am I banned? Oh my goodness. I may have to get you out there one of these days, LJ, but we're going to make it a team tournament. Me and you will be fishing together. How about that one? Shout out to Justin White, strong member of the money team, tuning in. He was a winner. I think he won one of the last. Did you win? Yeah, Justin White won the Bass for Cash, and he threw that money in his pocket and took off. I think that was Justin White. So yeah, we have some Chef Boy says, no, you still did not get it right. Can you read English? Just plain English, MoneyBass. Can you read it? All right, shout out to Miles and the Facebook crew. All right, guys. So yeah, I hope that everybody has found some fun, some value, some entertainment, in these live streams. Let's see. Steve Whip, he says, great show, bro. Gotta go make some cash for Bass. There we go. He said he got to go make some cash. All right, shout out to Justin. Oh yeah, Justin White says he won $60. So I think, yeah, Justin, I think you won last week, right? So shout out to Justin bringing in that $60 payout last week. So yeah, anybody that is interested, which I don't see why you wouldn't be interested in playing this thing we call Bass for Cash, just tune in on Thursday morning. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. All right, really appreciate you, Ace, for tuning in. Shout out to Ace Bass Fishing. out here doing it big in the fishing industry. And also to DL Peck for coming up here and, giving you guys all of that valuable information. Don't forget, go and check out his channel. He has some great information over there, guys. All right. He says, thanks for having us up, Money. All right. Really, really appreciate it. All right, guys. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Gonna go ahead and head on out. I'll see you out there on the lake on Thursday, guys. All right.